Kochie's Business Builders is proudly brought to you by our partner Dell, helping small businesses grow.
On Kochie's Business Builders, we team up a solar entrepreneur with our business bright spark. Our digital tips will put an end to your technophobia. Plus, we meet the innovator behind a hospitality solution that's changing how restaurants do business. G'day and welcome to another episode of Kochie's Business Builders. We love bringing you the latest news, great advice and success stories, and today is no different. Joining me to add extra real-life business advice is social enterprise trailblazer Daniel Flynn, the co-founder of Thank You. Daniel, my friend, great to see you. We had you on KBB years ago, I think. You've just done great success. You're a trailblazer for social enterprise in business. So many businesses are doing it now. Why do you think?
I mean, look, it's great to connect again. I think everyone's woken up to this idea that we can all do good with what we have in our hand. And so for businesses and business leaders, it's like, wow, our supply chain, our team, our profits they can make this world better. And I think in all of us, we all want to see that. And so there's this awakening, and at a consumer level, there's an expectation. I think consumers are now like, well, why would I buy into this organization or buy from? What else are you doing beyond just, we run a company to make some money? And that expectation, I think, met with also business leaders going, I can be part of something bigger than me. That's created this.
See, that consumer change has driven sales and drives bottom line. And so businesses have really had to sit up and take notice and say, hey, my customers want to know what I stand for, what my value set is. They're not just interested in a product. That's huge.
It is huge, and it is a revolution. I think the watch out, though, is that consumers are savvy. Social media is quick, and everyone's quick to figure out what's really going on. And so in this now new landscape, you've got to genuinely be doing good and not just as a little add-on to make more money. And so that's the watch out, but it is an exciting space.
Yep, you got to commit.
Yeah.
And you got to live and breathe it as an organisation.
Yeah.
Just don't put it in your marketing.
No, and that can hurt. That these are the hard decisions in the kind of closed room environment. But if you make the right calls, and even if you make the wrong ones, but you find a way to be transparent and move forward in the right way, I think, yeah, consumers will follow you on your story.
Okay, can't wait to get your insights today. Stay with me, Daniel, as we catch up with a business that firmly believes in the essentials of sustainability. NV Solar is a renewable energy business based in the Hunter region with a typical business problem. They're so focused on the day-to-day, they have no time to think big picture. So KBB expert Matt Alderton is dropping in on founder Michael Valentine to show how he can focus on what's important to help his business grow.
Got 220 acres to work from.
220 acres, amazing.
And sort of, to me, this is part of it, you know? You want to be back in nature, you want to do something good for the environment. This is our workspace.
Yeah.
So this place is fully off-grid.
Yeah.
So we don't have poles and wires coming into the place, and so we like to live the way we promote our business.
Yes, when we first decided to go solar, I said, as long as I can do what I want to do, when I want to do it. If I want to boil a jug at the same time that I'm doing some washing or turning a light on.
And he's done that for you, right?
He has.
Excellent.
Very well.
And you bring customers to look at what you're doing and how they can do that in their businesses as well?
We don't have this as our showroom. That's one of the reasons why we're looking to try and expand, so we can actually show those technologies a little bit more close to the public.
Because you know you had a lot of issues during the last couple of years with COVID and deliveries and that.
When COVID first came in, it went from pretty robust business to zero, nothing for 2 months. Luckily, we still had some work to keep the team employed. But then I think after 2.5 months at home, people then realised, hey, now my electricity bill's doubled.
Yeah.
Hang on, COVID seems to be around for a while, maybe I need to do something about it. Then the inquiries started to come back in. And luckily, we've kept all of our staff employed through that period. And there's periods it was very difficult. And even for Lois, she's the one looking after the finances, trying to keep everything up and keeping the cash flow. It has been hard. And then the start of this year, we've had a lot of wet weather. Now,
Floods and everything, not just wet weather.
So we haven't been able to finish installs. And they've taken us longer to do than they should.
Yeah.
a day job might take 2 or 3 days. So it is very frustrating and very expensive because that really affects your cash flow. Because until you finish the job, you can't get paid for that job.
Yeah. But you're still paying people.
Yeah.
You're still paying people.
And everything else that goes with running a business.
People still want their wage at the end of the week. So.
Absolutely. Because I know that you're very passionate about the quality of product, and there's a lot of cowboys out there in the solar industry, and you're really trying to change the face of that with what you guys are doing.
You're right, there's a lot of cowboys in the market now that are just in there for the quick dollar. So taking that on board, education's the first key, trying to make people understand what the product is. Okay, just step this way, Matt. Come in here, look. I just wanted to show you some little things. I mean, I can't go into the whole lot because there's a lot that makes up a solar panel. But if you looked at this panel, this has been taken out and it was in operation for about 3 years. If you look at the front, you'd probably say, oh.
Looks pretty good.
Does look pretty good, but you might notice a little bit of browning between the...
Yeah.
And what's happening there, the EVA, they've used a cheap EVA, which is actually now starting to perish because of the effects of UV light. If we turn the panel around...
Yeah, wow.
Would you like this panel on your roof?
No.
If you can see, the EVA has actually started to completely peel off, and this is the underside of the panel.
Yeah.
You can also see here it's gone right through to the cells and actually starting to burn and char.
Wow.
So this could cause a fire in time to come.
Wow.
Otherwise, you can get something that's a little bit better performing. It's going to cost you more, but you're going to get a panel that has A-grade cells that's going to be built with a lot of components in there, and I can probably spend another hour talking about it. But you know all of the components are here are going to last. After you, so in here, this is where the heart of the system is. But what I'm also trying to build is this space where we can actually demonstrate our technology. So
I can see you're pretty excited about all this. Like, what's holding you back? What's a challenge that's stopping you from moving forward with this?
having the right connection with the suppliers and having the right equipment. So the other thing is we're up against a lot of companies out there that just want to get a quick sale. They want to get it in and go to the next one, go to the next one. We don't want to get a quick sale. The real difference with us is we want to build a relationship.
After the break, Waste Not, Want Not, a small business owner wants to know how they can make sustainability part of their everyday. Now, are you a female founder with an incredible business? Here at Kochie's Business Builders, we're proud to be partnering with Dwen, the Dell Women's Entrepreneur Network, on a series of events throughout 2022. We kicked off with our first event just last week with some of Australia's most exciting women in business talking about leadership with purpose. Want to hear what they said? Watch Building Brave Businesses on Catch Up Now at poweredforsuccess.com.au. Well, did you know businesses that focus on sustainability can increase customer loyalty, reduce waste and save on shipping costs? Is it any wonder more and more small businesses are thinking about how they can lessen their impact on the planet? For this week's Ask Kochie question, a viewer wonders how they can adopt more sustainable practices for their e-commerce business.
Hello, my name is Avi and I'm from Fantastic Framing. We have 7 stores across Australia and I would like to ask the questions, what is the tips and tricks to be more sustainable for our clients? We send thousands of artwork every month and I would like to get the tip and tricks to be more sustainable and more green. Thank you.
It is a great question. Daniel, so many retailers are going through this process at the moment, probably thinking, how can I be more sustainable?
There are so many things you could do, should do. Someone says, and our advice would be find a framework. If we built one ourselves, but there are many different organisations that you can go, oh, they've defined how to improve sustainability, and you can follow it, tick the boxes, change things, and you're not just like being more sustainable. There's a framework that helps you get there, a roadmap.
Okay, so where do you find that roadmap?
Well, there are many organisations, APCO, B Corp, Cradle to Cradle. There are so many, and they're all good. B Corp would be an example.
B Corp,
yep. You can sign up, become a B Corp, and there's a huge list, and it takes you on this journey of what does it mean to be a more sustainable organisation, you know. And I think we all need that because you don't just want to run around saying, oh, I'm carbon neutral. Yeah, that sounds good, but like what about, you know, your carbon contribution or your packaging impacts? And it's actually quite complicated, which is why working on other people's frameworks or building ones yourself, that's the starting point.
That's great advice, Daniel. And if you follow this link down the bottom here, there will be all the resources that you can start that first step that Daniel was talking about. Now, tech guru Tracy Sheen wants to put an end to technophobia. Here's her latest tip for small business owners.
You're still getting emails in your inbox every day telling you that you can hit page 1 of Google. I'm here to tell you that unless you are a technical website developer, forget it. SEO, dead. All right, now what we want to know about is called EAT: expertise, authority, and trust. Google is looking for you to create content that's going to set you apart from your competition. So what they're looking for is for you to shine through your expertise by developing different forms of content, written content, blogs, videos, and think about audio, podcasting. So all of those forms of content are going to help you develop your expertise. Authority, think about ways that you can reach out to people who deal in your industry and with your clients but aren't in competition with you. Can you get content onto their website? Can you write a blog for someone that you know? The last one is trust. The more content you have out there, the more that it's shared, Google will bump you up the rankings. Leave the technical stuff to the web developers, concentrate on creating good content that answers questions for your clients.
After the break, we see how local startup Food by Us is shaking up the hospitality sector with its revolutionary offering.
Hi, my name is Ben Lipschitz. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Food by Us. Food by Us is a one-stop shop for restaurants, cafes, caterers, anyone in the food service industry. We bring together all of the suppliers that they might need, and they can use us to do all of their ordering. So it's a huge time saver, and it's also a money saver. Myself and the other founders have been involved in marketplace businesses before, and particularly around restaurants. And what we started to see when we looked at those restaurants and how they actually place their wholesale food orders is that there's a lot of inefficiencies there. There's a lot of pen and paper, text messaging, telephone calls, all things like that. And with so many restaurants and so many suppliers, that's the kind of environment where a marketplace can really help, and that's the kind of thing that our technology was really setting out to help out. We started out with 3 co-founders and just a small team around us, mostly dedicated to building the technology. From there, we've grown to a headcount of more than 60 people now, and certainly within the next few months, we're going to be more than 80 people. We've got a really high-energy team at Food by Us that is in the tech space and the hospitality space. We have a whole team that looks after restaurants that's selling our solution into them, as well as a team that looks after all of our suppliers. The innovation is really at the core of what we do. How do we innovate? Well, a lot of it is really testing the boundaries of what we think our technology can do, but also all the time listening, and trying to understand not necessarily what the customer articulates as the problem to you or what they think the solution should be, but really looking at the operation of the business, what's really going on there, and then trying to devise a really simple, elegant solution that works for them, but more importantly, for thousands of others. Food by Us has really helped hospitality venues during COVID in terms of understanding how to get control of their procurement, their food ordering, and their costs. This is a critical element during COVID where you're running short on staff and sometimes customer numbers have dropped. You've got to watch every dollar and cent, and that's where Food by Us can really help. Bistro Rex is a great restaurant. It's actually a Parisian-style bistro in Sydney's Potts Point. To keep things interesting, they're often changing their menu. At any one time, perhaps 20% of their menu is new and different. They use our marketplace to go and find all of these new products, which they'll then integrate into their menu. Where they are now is that the owners have a lot better oversight over what's going on in their business, and multiple chefs are all doing what they're doing through the one platform. So it doesn't matter if they get new chefs and there's training involved, they're now just integrated with Food by Us. So it's a very healthy and ongoing relationship. I always think it's very helpful to solve a real problem. There's a lot of exciting ideas out there, and it might be a problem that you're facing. I think it's really helpful in the first instance to look at, is this a genuine problem? And how many businesses or people are facing this problem? That is something that drives me every day as a founder, but also the team. I see it every day. They're out there making a difference in the industry, and they love it.
Hi, I'm Luke Cook, the founder of Cuppa.tv, a live streaming platform for workplace wellbeing, belonging and performance. Here are the 3 lessons that I've learned in business. 1, vulnerability as a leader can actually be your superpower if used correctly. Before you were a leader, you were a friend, a colleague, a partner, a child. You're a human being and you've got emotions. So let your shield down and talk vulnerably to your employees and customers. 2, find ways to make a meaningful difference in your work and life. As a leader, you have the opportunity to leave a lasting legacy. And if you understand what your why is, it'll help you get through those difficult times. 3, spend more time outside of your comfort zone than in it. Prior to Cuppa, I took a very helicopter view around important conversations like Indigenous culture and community, transgender issues, and sustainability. It's only through the power of conversation and stepping outside of my comfort zone have I learned to be a better person in life and also in business.
Now we're back to see how our business expert, Matt Alderton, can help MV Solar owner Michael Valentine go from juggler to ringmaster.
Well, thanks, Lois and Michael, for taking us through your factory and everything you're doing outside. It's amazing. Quite an operation you've got going on out there. I can see what you're doing right now and some of the amazing stuff that you deliver to your customers every day, and the quality that stands out, and the workmanship without question. But for your business, outside of just being on the tools, where is it that you see your business going? What's your vision for your business?
Where we'd like to see the business is not working so intently in the business. It might be a pipe dream, but I'd like to see MV Solar have a branch in every regional area in Australia so that people can actually understand how they can solve their problems by using renewable energy to make that happen. What's really our first step in trying to get these systems involved?
One of the big things that I see for you guys with your business, to be able to scale it, and certainly for it to step out of the day-to-day operations of a business, need to be around the processes in the business, the systems, processes and procedures.
So, Matt, we've got a lot of systems and processes in place, but what I'm finding is that they're not always followed. So how do we go about getting everybody to follow them?
When people understand your why, what's really important to you, why, what gives you goosebumps and gets you excited, that's what's going to help them adopt the processes and the procedures and the systems that you guys are implementing in your business. So we talked about your vision and your values, and I can see them written across your walls in your office and that, which is amazing. But if they've been set a few years ago and you've got a new team, then they're not going to be as connected to those values as you were when you set them, and maybe the team were involved. Yeah. So I think what a great exercise between now and when we next catch up as well, and I'll give you some guidelines around this as well, but to have that values conversation with your team, reach out to them. I know you have your lunches and stuff once a week, so maybe do that as a bit of an exercise where you can come together and talk about the need to revisit our values, talk about bringing them back together and looking at what's important to them. And I'll give you a little set of cards, they look like playing cards, but they've got 52 values on them. And it's a good way just to get some thought happening for people as well. And then when they pick them, they can write out a sentence about them that defines what it means to them. We don't make decisions logically, we make them emotionally. So emotionally, have your team invested into what you're doing, and they'll follow you to the ends of the earth. And that's why it's so important to have those guiding values for your business. And when we come together at the next session, you'll be able to talk to me through some of the challenges you might be having in doing that, or any questions you've got in relation to that. And by the time we wrap up, you'll have those new values articulated and written down, and I'll help you with all that as well as we guide you along through the journey. But for the next session, it's going to be great. We'll talk about some succession planning and other elements that are going to help you achieve the vision you have for your business as well.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to get stuck in.
Awesome.
That is a great start for Michael and MV Solar. And don't forget, we'll be revisiting MV Solar over the next couple of months to see how they're doing. And Daniel, great advice from Matt as well. Sort of understand the personalities and strengths of your staff is incredibly important to lessening your load.
It is, and I think the great trap, particularly as founders or as strong leaders, you think, I can do it all. Even though you might say it's a team effort, you end up taking on more than you can. And so for us, we talk about this little question, what's the bit that only you can do?
Right.
Just do that. And then another team member could do the bit that they can do. And then together you achieve more. It seems simple. Actually, I think it's a really humbling process for business leaders and founders to go on, and you need help.
Daniel Flynn, you've been fantastic with your advice, so generous today. Thank you so much. Good luck with the next stage of Thank You, which he's been telling me is going to be very exciting. So we will catch up when that occurs.
Thanks, Kochie.
Good on you, mate. Next week on Kochie's Business Builders, our tech guru Tracy Sheen joins me on the couch as co-host. Retail expert and small business founder Jane Kay uncovers a hidden gem at QVB. Plus, we'll see how everything's coming up roses for sisters Kelly and Abby, founders of Edible Blooms.